And to everybody else, reading comes easy.
There are way too many kids still graduating without being able to read.
So it has to do with the occipital lobe at the back of the brain, and that's where the connections are made between letters and sounds.
Reading is life to me.
The significance of reading to me is it's the key that holds everything together, because without reading, you can't do social studies, science, math, because you have to follow directions, you have to be able to comprehend.
A PhD doesn't mean someone really knows what they're talking about. Nancy Stevenson, who wrote the Stevenson method, didn't have her PhD, but boy, did she know kids, and did she know reading, and she knew some really simple ways to teach it.
The biggest advantage to the Stevenson reading program is its flexibility. It can be used with every type of learner, from the youngest, slowing the pace of it down, to your older students that are so frustrated when they're in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade and can't read. She offered her ideas to several large publishing companies, but they all wanted to change the order of the program, because America is a country where short vowels come first, and that's what we do traditionally, and that's what they wanted her to do, and she was not willing to do that because she felt that was one of the major pieces where our children failed.
The right to read is absolutely critical because it unlocks everything.
We had a student, he could not read, not one word, and it probably took a good year of that with him, but he was able to actually read a book. He was so proud of himself, and he was able to flourish and fit in then. His behaviors dropped. I think everyone is entitled to at least the chance to learn to read. I know there are kids that may not be able to, but with Stevenson, like I said, it proved me wrong, that these kids that they had no hope actually could read.
I realized for the past 8 years, I would never learn how to read. And I accepted that. And to everybody else, reading comes easy, and reading is simple. But reading is life to me. How you might as well say I did breakfast, lunch, and dinner going to the literacy center. It became my second home. It became my safe haven. So now, I read all the time, I listen to books, but my story of the 18 years of not knowing how to read, it allows me to help. It wasn't until I really went into the Stevenson that reading clicked for me, because of the test and because of where it started me at. Every other program was like really like scatterbrain, going off of my age and stuff of that nature, but the Stevenson clicked because it went straight there.
The Stevenson method set it up in such a way that a person would just know. It was a very concrete way to teach reading that was fun, very kid-focused. You didn't have to have experience working in tutoring. You just followed the manual, and the manual is very clear.
That's one thing I liked about the Stevenson reading program, is they start out so simple and broke it down so easy for every single person that it never was hard for them. And all they had was success. They weren't failing.
There are way too many kids still graduating without being able to read, or reading at a 4th grade or lower level. But I think there is this assumption that not all kids are going to learn how to read. We just do the best we can. They're not all going to learn. And that may be true. There may be some students who won't be able to learn how to read, but I haven't met that kid yet.
The thing to always remember in reading instruction, you want learning to be the constant, time to be the variable. If, however, you're watching a clock and you have to hurry up for some high-stakes test and you make time the constant, learning becomes the variable. We don't want that.
That I can support my family. I can support the people that I love because of my ability to read. And that's what reading does.
Nancy Stevenson once said, "I have never met a learning disabled child. I have only met a child who is in the wrong reading program."